Hey everybody, welcome back to the Old Sweets Farm. It's Rich. This is a video about transitioning a nasty area into a very usable, no weed garden. I'm filming this as a preface because I'm already done. Or we're almost done, I should say. There's a little piece not done. But I think during the filming of this, I got a little long-winded at times. Bear with me and watch it, but you will see how we transition a nasty, weedy, bumpy area into a great garden area, a really good garden area. I'll show you the steps, but I got a little long-winded. So at the very end, you're gonna see, I'm gonna kind of summarize everything because there are quite a few steps, and it takes some time. So I wanted to apologize that I got a little long-winded in the middle, but here's what's coming at you. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Old Sweets Farm. It's Rich. Got a big project we're going to work on today. We've been working on it for a while, but hopefully today will be the completion of it. We're putting down our garden fabric here. I'll put a link to the fabric we used down below. That is hugely important, as you've seen in our areas where we've put it down. It's a great fabric. It doesn't let anything breathe. It doesn't let anything grow. It's done. Now we started on this last fall. Took everything when it was done and we leveled everything. You can't just loosen up your soil, rototill, and put the fabric down. You're gonna have this, it's gonna be like the moon. It's gonna be nasty. We took this and leveled it off as best we could. We let it rain and snow on it, and all the soil, it's pretty darn flat. Now what we gotta do is get the weeds. I mean, the weeds, this is nasty right now. So I'm gonna weed whip. I'm gonna, around the edges, burn the weeds, but I'm gonna weed whip just to get the foliage down. It's okay if there's foliage under there. The fabric's gonna let it decompose underneath, and it'll provide a little bit of something for the new plants. Once we get it weed whipped, I'm just gonna make sure it's completely level or close to. Then we're gonna lay down the fabric and staple it in place. But we'll take some video in the meantime. But I just wanted to show you. Here's the before. Hopefully at the end of this, you're going to see something totally different. We'll be right back. All right, we're done with part one. I'm beat. I am just a sweaty mess. Got everything weed whipped. Got the edges burned. Found a couple of spots that just weren't quite level, and leveled them off. And then started to work over here by the back of Tomato Alley. Here, let me spin you around. Got some pieces laid down here. What I'm doing, they're 3-foot pieces. And so, let's see if I can get my hand out in the way. 1, 2, they're 3 foot, but then the next piece starts here. So there's a 1-foot overlap. I just want to really guarantee there are no weeds ever going to come up in here. So I got this, wanted to lay it sideways, and then the next piece is going to come along the outside of Tomato Alley, come right down the edge, and it'll come overlap. It'll overlap here for probably 1.5 feet or so. So perfect coverage. And then we'll just start going up and down here. I think I got to do about 12 runs of about 50 feet or so. So I might not have enough fabric. So I might go and order one right now just to be sure. But made some good progress on day one. Tomorrow there will supposedly not be much wind. That's going to be key to Holly just lays that roll down and pulls it tight, and I just come along with a kneeler and just start hammering. Put those 4 or 5 inch staples in and get this thing locked down. Then we can get the tubs in place, then we can get the rock in there, then we can get the manure in there, then we can get the topsoil, then we can plant those for fall. Lots of steps. Anyways, I'll come back tomorrow as we step through this thing. It's gonna be fun. See ya. All right, we're back. We have been working all day. It's been about 4 hours. Holly and I were down on our hands and knees rolling out the fabric, getting it lined up, stapling it in place. It was a lot of work. Now it's time to get ready for planting. I've got my little Benzomatic torch. It's like a creme brulee torch, or is that about what it is?
It's a cooking torch.
Cooking torch. Come on over here, I'll show you. What I want to do is we're gonna do it I'm gonna be burning on this line, and then we won't burn again till 3 lines over. So it'll be the line right before the seam. I don't want to burn the seam line because I think that'll weaken it. So we're gonna do this. So they're approximately, with the 6-inch overlap, about 31 inches apart, the rows will be, and we're gonna make the rows the holes 2 feet apart on the line. And to do that, it's pretty easy. You got to pick a day when it's not windy, and I'm just, whoop. Come on. I'm just going to burn a hole. About that big. Then go on to center up the next one. Usually I keep the torch burning. In this case, I'm trying to use the light from the sun. It's hard to block the wind here. There, I'll do 2. So now I've got these nice holes. They're about the size of my 4-inch pot. When I want to go plant, all I have to do is dig this hole down. The edge is sealed so it will not fray. Dig the soil out, put in my 4-inch pot with some good manure. I've got good soil underneath that will feed the roots. But dig this out, put the 4-inch pot in, little potting soil on top, water it, we're good to go. So now I just need to get the whole thing, all the holes in it. We're going to put some raised beds in place like we've got on the other side, and this will be complete. No weeding. In a 50-some foot, I'll have to measure it out, a 50-some foot by 35 feet, no weeding. Hallelujah. All right, we'll be back with the final summary here. Hey everybody, we're back. I wanted to say we're done, we're not. There's a few things, some little odds and ends that we're not done. But let me walk you through everything that we did and what I've got to do to be complete. Step 1. This started last year, as I said. You go in, work in a bunch of organic material, work in all your fertilizer, all your compost stuff. If you want to rototill, go nuts. But get it in, get it level. Get your garden level, or as good as you can. I mean, nothing's gonna be perfect. Get this thing level. You can see there's some bumps in there, some little rolls. For the most part, she's level. I worked in the manure, the compost, got it as level as I could after the growing season last year. Then I let the snow fall on it, the rain fall on it, and it leveled itself out and packed itself a little bit. You do not want to do this project on a freshly rototilled garden. You're going to have all this loose stuff, you're going to have footprints in it, and to put the garden fabric down on top of it, it's going to be a disaster, in my humble opinion. This is a bit compacted because it's been sitting for the better part of 9 months or so, but as you can tell, she's flat. Okay, got that. Yesterday, went out and I didn't want to put the garden fabric over the weeds. Again, it'd be rolly. So weed whipped all that. Weed whipped all the weeds down. I don't care about the weeds and the foliage. You know what? That foliage is going to break down and add another layer. There's going to be some composting underneath the fabric, and it's going to help break other stuff down and make sure the weeds don't come up. So a little bit more nutrient. Got that. There were some areas on the side that I burned. I wanted to get the weeds right up to the fence, make sure that there was none of those against the fence. Once that's done, I should have a level playing field, which I did. So we started today, and we just started laying out the fabric. Let me just walk you through it. 3 foot sections. I know I said earlier on the end that I did a 12-inch overlap, which I did. Down here where it's longer runs, I did a 6-inch overlap. So each of these lines are a foot apart. You can see where one of the pieces of fabric goes, and then right here there's a 6-inch overlap for this piece. When I'm putting in the staples, on this side I'm putting in quite a few staples, like 1 every foot. When I'm doing the right edge, I'm only putting in 1 every maybe 3 feet, because I've got a piece overlapping it that I'm going about every foot again. So that this one edge gets double staples, and the right side always gets double stapled. Okay, hopefully that made sense. If it doesn't, let me know. But with that 6-inch overlap, those pieces are getting double stapled. Laid it out. Holly rolled out the fabric, held it tight, pulled it tight, so I had some good lines, so my lines aren't wavy. You're never going to be perfect. On the side here, this is where I did the 1 foot overlay. It just had some short pieces that came out. Maybe use my shadow. They came out past this. I put them on first so there can be rough edges, and then I overlap this to have a nice clean edge. And then what I did here, once all our pieces going this way were done, there was a kind of a loose ends at this end. I put a 3-foot strip at the very end just to hold it all in place, have a nice clean, if you look, I've got a nice clean edge. It looks good. I like my garden to look good as well as be functional. What we're going to do in this back corner, back behind Tomato Alley, this is going to be some larger pots for an herb garden. We've also got the first tub in place for some raised beds. We're going to have another in place. We ran out of fabric. I needed 1 more. We've probably got 3 more rows to go. Once we're done, this row will continue over to keep a clean edge on the end, and we'll put another tub here. Those tubs serve a couple purpose. It's a backdrop. It's a wind block from the south. We get some big breezes from the south in the spring, so once we get stuff planted, those raised beds will provide a bit of a wind block. They also provide weight sitting on all this fabric on the ends that went, and then they're double stapled with this end piece, this end garden fabric going across. The weight of these raised beds too is going to keep all this from catching wind and potentially sailing on us. So between the herb garden, the 2 raised beds here, and down at this end, I'll show you, because this is where we tie in everything. We've got to put 1 more piece of garden fabric on the back side of the peas going down, because this is just weedy. We've got the rough edge ending for Tomato Alley. We've got our rough edge for the row between the peas and beans, and the beans in our newest area, and then this. So if we put a row of fabric, it's going to sit over the top and tie everything together here, and we're going to have 2 raised beds down at this end to hold it in place down here. So it'll tie everything together. Tomato Alley will be completely weedless surrounded. The peas and beans, the same thing, and it'll transition right into this. The only open area we'll have is kind of our watermelon and vining melon area. So I hope I'm not getting long-winded on this. If I am, I don't know. Sorry about that. If you've got questions, I'm going to put all the pieces of the puzzle, all the staples, the garden fabric, everything down below, that you can pick it up at Amazon. This garden fabric is incredible. This is stuff that will let the water, the fertilizer, everything, you know, rainfall, everything go through, but will not let weeds come up. It is UV resistant. This is going. We've got stuff that's been lasting for years. This is going to be lasting for years. With Tomato Alley being so firmly put together, with those raised beds being so firmly put together and in place. It took me a while to get this infrastructure in place. We're set now for a long, long time before there'll be maintenance. So I really like this. It's going to be good. So if you got questions though, throw them down below. I know I get long-winded, but I'd like to help you try it. This stuff is gold, in my opinion. So please think about it and check out the products below. But put your questions down below. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope this made sense. I'm overjoyed. I can't wait to get some stuff in the ground for fall. This will be a good productive fall garden spot. Stuff down there is going to be producing for the rest of the summer. Now we can put some lettuces and some more cabbage and some stuff down here that will get us into the fall months. So thanks everybody for watching. Take care.